If you can stop thinking about your back pain, you're either gonna heal completely or you're gonna reduce your chronic back pain levels significantly. A lot of back pain instances in people are actually a complex problem. They're not a purely physical problem. There is a lot more going here under the surface. If you engage with, let's say, doctors or physical therapists, you may get this idea that chronic back pain is a purely physical problem that you can only resolve with painkillers or physical therapy, maybe rehab exercises. And there is value in exploring that avenue. I'm definitely not against that. But you'll probably find quickly that you're kind of hitting a ceiling. You're hitting this obstacle on your healing journey that you cannot really overcome, especially not by repeating the things that you've already done so far, and they're clearly not working. That's what happened to me. I struggled with back pain for more than 10 years. And for a large portion of that time, I tried physical approaches, things that targeted just the body, the tissues in my body, and they only had a limited effect. Oftentimes, they were completely ineffective, actually. And once I became a little bit more open to the idea that maybe there is a bit more here, I mean, for years, if your back doesn't heal for years, if you're struggling with this for years, like most physical injuries, they kind of heal on their own after a few days, maybe weeks at most. But if you're struggling with this for years, chances are there is something more here. And one of the worst things about chronic back pain is that it's always there. It's always with you in your body, and you cannot really escape it. The other part of chronic back pain is emotional or psychological, or both of them combined, rather. And one huge trap about this part of the problem is that it's always there. It's always in you, in a way. You cannot escape your body, and you're in pain all of the time. The tricky part about this is that even though you feel the sensations, like, in a bodily way, you experience them through your body, oftentimes they make you think about them as well. They preoccupy your thoughts. You even maybe verbalize or visualize the pain, and you're essentially thinking about it pretty much the whole time. And the more you think about it, the bigger it can get. Often thinking about it kind of amplifies it. And it's really difficult to stop thinking about it because, first of all, it's there in your body, it's always there. But then it's also a negative emotion and thought pattern. And these are much more difficult to get rid of and to kind of like stop engaging with them than, let's just say, like positive thoughts or emotions. But you gotta do this. You gotta be able to completely stop thinking about the pain. And the best way to achieve this is to use something I like to call productive distraction. So you might be aware of, it's kind of like a common cliche at this point. If I tell you, like, don't think about the pink hippo, the first thing you're gonna think about is the pink hippo. But if you wanna stop thinking about the pink hippo, you're probably gonna wanna think about the blue elephant, let's just say. That's how you wanna think about this. So it's actually not a good advice to try to stop thinking about your pain, but rather you should start and trying to focus on other things. And the best things that work as a distraction here are actually things that put you into a flow state, into activities that kind of engage your entire being in a way. And they kind of force you to be present and to not really even think that much. And for this reason, activities that are involving the entire body, that are more maybe like, they're more visceral in a way. Activities like maybe sports or making love or dancing or singing or acting or whatever it is that involves more of the body, not just thinking about it, but actually performing movements, being like dynamic, that can usually work a lot better than purely mental or intellectual pursuits. So as it turns out, the best way to stop thinking about back pain is essentially to stop thinking altogether. And you're going to discover that your body starts to kind of feel a lot better when you stop thinking. Pretty much, if you have no thoughts at all, it doesn't even matter if they're about back pain or not. If you're looping on different thoughts, they're kind of distracting you, from being present. And if you become able to do that, if you can get into like a nice flow state, you're actually giving your body more time to heal, like a good environment for healing. I talk about this, I talk about productive distraction in a lot of my other videos. A relevant video is going to appear above me, and it's going to continue down this vein. you're going to learn the skill that I think is actually crucial for healing chronic back pain. Check out that video. I will see you there. And until next time, be brave.